suckers, pederists! I hope you all enjoy the show. Yes, I do.
Hello everyone, welcome to Joe Consumes Cinema. I'm your host, War is Inevitable, and today we have House of the Dragon, Season 3, Episode 5. So the events of last episode, while it was very interesting, it could kind of feel to the audience, I think, like a little bit overwhelming just because so much is happening right now. So I want to do something a little bit different, and I want to pull up a map and just like show you what's actually playing out right now. Get you kind of caught up, and instead of our usual recap where I'm just talking, like I'll pull up a map and actually show you where the armies are moving, all that. I think it'll help to clarify some things and make it a little bit easier for the audience. Okay, so Tumbleton is right here, and you see it's pretty close to King's Landing, like not that far off. It's at the northeastern part of the Reach. Right now we've got a situation where the Greens have, total control of it. Rhaenyra wants to take it back, but she can't use dragons because, all the innocent civilians there. She doesn't want them to suffer, so she's come up with this plan to send the Rivermen, who are somewhere up here, down south to deal with it. Now, they were on their way to King's Landing. We had Criston Cole and the other Hightower army show up here and take Harrenhal. This is the Isle of Faces. And right now, their plan is to ambush the Rivermen army, which outnumbers them like 20 to 1. They can't fight them head on, so they're going to harass them, probably attack their supply lines, and just slow them down. They can't really stop them from getting south, but they can make it annoying and, bleed them over time. And yeah, right now, Tumbleton is the focus, but for the most part, it's not really situated anywhere important. It's just kind of like a thorn in Rhaenyra's side right now that she wants to remove. For the most part, right now, we're concentrated in the center of Westeros. We had some, quick visits to the Eyrie, but, for the most part, we're kind of staying, very close to King's Landing right now. But yeah, I just wanted to bring up a map real quick because Tumbleton is not something that gets discussed in any of the shows. Like, it's a very, very small, relatively insignificant small trading town that just doesn't come up. So people are like, where the hell is it? Also, just the number of different events that happened last episode, I think, like, just a little bit of clarity by looking at an actual map to know where we are, where things are headed, where the armies are, just kind of clarifies things and makes things easier. I really wish they would kind of bring back the old intro with the maps to show like the moving pieces where we are each episode. It kind of helps just to clarify things and, make it a lot easier for the audience to follow along. But yeah, so far these first 4 episodes have been fire. I really enjoyed last episode. It was slower, but like so many small moments that add up, and there's a lot of weight behind each one of them. And yeah, like really, really good start this season. We're kind of like slowing down a little bit towards the middle, but we are about to pick things back up. We've got more battles to get through. There's a ton of great events still to come. And yeah, I'm eager to get right to it, so let's just get right to it.
Another crossing burned. We might never reach Tumbleton.
Lord Piper, take 100 of your fastest riders and make for Stony Sept. Secure the barge and transit there.
Well, we continue to suffer this Cole and his band of hangers-on. They flit about us like fucking deer flies.
Criston Cole, I am past enduring.
Then loose my wolves and me.
Yeah, at best it's a delaying tactic, but it is quite annoying. Infiltration tactics.
To the next crossing, then.
They'll make for Stony Sept.
If I'd have known we were expecting guests, I would have made up the bed.
We're looking for Aemon Targaryen, the Kingslayer.
Yes, there's been a horde of you since the ungrateful queen announced her bounty. It seems you've not learned the history of this place. Her founding stones were watered with the blood of men.
Here we go.
Stay back! Stay back! Aegon, he was here. His face was on fire.
It's
My
just
brother.
a dream again. That's all.
Oh boy. She's manipulating him same way she did Daemon. Probably having a little bit better effect, though. Finally, some cats. Enough of these damn rats.
I must thank you again for your loyalty, Grand Maester.
Is that Moon Tea? Yeah, Helena being pregnant is a real problem, especially if it's a boy.
I don't want it.
You must. Could be a boy. Do you see? Aegon's heir, a rival to Joffrey. She will kill it. She will have no choice. Aemon still lives, as far as we know.
He's at Harrenhal. He burns, but without fire.
Think of it as a cup of tea. Nothing more. It has delivered me from disgrace and ruin. It has delivered Rhaenyra herself, a child who will be never more than a hostage or a pawn.
It's mine! It's my own! It's mine!
I had hoped a seat on the council would suffice as recompense for House Frey's loyalty. But Harrenhal wished to be our recompense.
Yeah, promises were made, and you got to keep track of all of them.
But they are fugitives. We will root them out soon enough.
The whole.
This council could be a little better.
Pursuing the pettiest of crimes, the pettiest
Did
of
anyone
criminals.
see where Vhagar flew?
Once again, Aemond is nowhere to be found.
2 of our gold cloaks were found dead in the street this morning.
There is fresh news from Lord Tully's camp. Their march has been slowed by interference from Sir Criston Cole.
The Lady Baela's not eaten, much less slept.
I am more than ready to fly.
I will send Daemon.
I will go once I have dealt with this business in the city. We depend on those men now to secure your rule. Especially since their wages have been withheld.
Your Grace.
Not now. Is it always like this?
Yeah?
My voice must again compete with yours.
On the contrary, I have pledged to fulfill your commands, just later.
My interest is Vhagar.
Mine too, but we have time enough. Aemond is afraid. At this moment, there is a disturbance in your city, and you, yourself, are its likely cause.
He's not wrong?
Will you let yourself be rattled by vapid taunts by the painting of strife?
A challenge to my very legitimacy.
You are the Queen of Dragons. Your strength is your legitimacy.
Show it to me.
My daughter has been unwell.
The flask is full.
I took a lover after Viserys.
Oh, you should not. Oh, dear God. You only ever drink that stuff if you're pregnant.
There's surely no need for this to be spoken of again.
You would not, of course, seek to deceive the Queen.
Quick reminder to like, comment, share, subscribe. Also consider signing up for my Patreon. For $1 per month, you get access to all my exclusive reactions, also a guaranteed movie request. With that, let's get right back to the reaction.
You'd start at the base before dawn and aim to be the first one.
I like that right there. The spider web. Here come the flies.
You could make a home at Old Town, Sir Criston. A knight of your stature would be most welcome.
Little spikes in the ground.
Crow's feet. Gods.
Ow. Jesus. Wherever they move, they do so on foot now.
The Queen wanted us stopped. The Queen's son is dead. She must be excused her impulses.
Oh, you'd have me refuse it?
No, rather temper her. We will pay the villains back in kind. What is the mood among the men?
They complain about their wages or lack of them.
Oh boy. More gold cloaks slaughtered. I think we've got some Hightower loyalists still in the city. Yep.
Battlements are being raised with haste, my lord, but we lack in timber and men.
We must secure our walls. Rhaenyra's host is surely on the march.
I was lucky. Let's start again.
Doesn't like to lose. Ormond is his mentor, but he's like terrified of him.
I have had these made. You are the sign our allies have been waiting for. The son of Viserys.
Oh god.
There's a hidden door that leads out in Aemon's chamber.
The one the men used when they came to kill my boy.
Yeah, that'd be the one.
With luck, we may escape and melt into the streets of King's Landing.
And Jahara, her room is guarded.
If she were to cry out, then that would be the
I
end.
will not leave her.
This ain't gonna work.
We may even be able to send for her one day.
You look away when you lie.
There's no way. This can't work.
She won't look at me. And I cannot say I blame her. I saw myself a hero.
turning the tide of a great battle.
Yeah, she still feels guilty for Jace's death. Harrenhal is such a cool location. You got the haunted, spooky aspect. Just the cool aesthetic of, you know, massive citadel that's been burned to mostly ash.
I had to sit and applaud him. Aemon the champion. I'm sure he thought I was a terrible king, but what I could have been if I was given his fucking advantages and Mother indulged him.
All this time we've been together, you've done nothing but whinge. You, who had every advantage in life. Firstborn son, prince of the realm, the finest tutors, the finest knights, a dragon so beautiful they named him after the sun itself. You could have risen to greatness, but instead you trampled your birthright in the mud.
It's true.
You were a terrible king. But worse than that, you are a terrible man.
And Laris would know.
Don't. There can be no harm in it at the least. You could try it.
I don't think Daemon is much of a prayer.
4 of my men lie dead. 6 if you count the 2 from yesterday.
Crenuntis nihus kessi rilsa. Rakila ilsa. Se interrarium. Heclior septan enegalo vindaius. Inje hosa. Daria sagon inutsetis.
Abrax sarra in euros. Vamoria tavidorris iliusi.
Daemon Targaryen ix neden conferior. Se kesir iora osnas don.
Yeah, the infighting this episode, it's really ramping up.
They see no sense in continuing with this plan, and to speak truth, nor do I. We grow weak. Stony Sept still lies far ahead.
He's not going to turn back.
7 health.
Oh shit, he's alive. He got thrown in the drink with his armor on, but guess he got out of it.
Rhaenyra will do in the end what she has to do, and what she has to do will be dire. There is only one who can walk that path with her, and she chose him long ago.
She knows what Daemon is.
There have ever been 2 sides of a coin. You earn yourself favour with the Hightowers, if a time should come when you have need of it.
Playing both sides. She's tempted by it.
Even where he fell.
Leeches. Ugh.
He has never been here.
She's lying. I've heard about you. Witch.
Knew that was coming. Oh shit, he got impaled on a root. Where would trees like blood?
I look to you now to uphold your vows to the city and to the throne, and I pledge you, you will be repaid twice over. And in the years to come, as dawn finally bends the knee, and the 7 kingdoms become 9, become 12, become the new Valyria.
Oh shit. Were you planning on using that bridge?
The rivermen have crossed and burned the bridge behind them.
So it failed.
How many others? Who was with you? Tongue or the eye? The eye.
It was the king! He said it was the king's work it was to be about.
It was Aegon then?
No, in my boot. Compliments of King Daeron Targaryen, he said.
We'll raft the river. Or swim it.
What more can we do?
We will join them in battle.
There are 200 rivermen for every one of us. It would march us towards certain death.
Yeah, he knows. His plan is to die.
This is your goal.
Yeah.
When we set out, we were doomed to death and defeat. I am the realm's greatest warrior, and I will die as such, and they will sing songs of it.
No, they won't.
And Queen Alicent herself will hear them.
That's what this is about.
The price of our humiliation.
What is this?
Who is this? Young Daeron Targaryen. Ormond has declared him king. We should have burned them when we had the chance.
No, it's blocked. We have to go back. There is no way back. The door is shut. No!
Oh my god. Jesus. So much for the gold cloaks. Okay, took some time just to gather my thoughts. Episode 5, another really good one. So, big theme this episode is infighting within Rhaenyra's council and also just the state of the city and how it descends, slowly into chaos. We see that there have been killings against the gold cloaks, initially 2, then 4, and then episode ends with, that slaughter of, it looked like most of Sir Largent's men, including Sir Largent himself, and, Daemon relies on them to police the city, so him losing all those people the way he did, just a huge shock, and also it's going to make things a whole lot worse. Ormond's plan to sow division within the city is working because he's finding more and more people, willing to side with the Greens. Not publicly, they're doing everything in the shadows, but it's super effective. But as, the food situation worsens, as, people aren't getting paid, as promises that have been made in the past, we saw that one of the Freys, a Lady Frey, has joined Rhaenyra's small council, and she originally comes up to Rhaenyra saying, your son Jace promised us Harrenhal, and here you are promising Harrenhal and a knighthood to anyone that can slay Aemond. And, all these promises, they have to be kept, otherwise people show up complaining. Or worse, they turn on you. So, yeah, it's a huge problem, and it's just this cascade of, small problems turning into big, larger ones, and yeah, it's really, really tough for Rhaenyra right now and just Team Black. They still hold the seat of power for the most part, but, their grip on it is, tenuous at best. It's not easy to rule, given all these circumstances. We finally saw Aemon for the first time in, a couple episodes. We knew he was in the hands of Alice Rivers. We just didn't know what she was doing with him. It seems, she's working her magic, literally and figuratively, to manipulate him. Kind of like what she did with Daemon last season, but I think this time it's having more effect. He is a weaker target overall for her to manipulate, and yeah, you can tell that there's an attraction there, and also just, he's got so many skeletons in his closet that, she's got a smorgasbord to work with in terms of what she uses to actually manipulate people, and it's going really well for her. Queen Alicent and Helena tried to escape. First, there was the whole incident with the moon tea. Helena wouldn't take it. It's kind of like their version of Plan B, essentially. Take it and it causes an abortion. But we saw that Alicent actually ends up drinking it because, she comes up with this cover story when Lady Mysaria, is interrogating her and saying, oh, I had this fling with some knight or something, and then she drinks it. You're never supposed to do that, by the way. You saw the effects of it where she felt sick for a day. You could totally end up bleeding to death. In fact, there are cases in the books where people who drink it when they're not supposed to, it does a lot of damage internally. But their conversation was pretty interesting because while Alicent is desperate to escape, it's just not going to work out. Lady Mysaria is loyal to the queen, but, there's a rift there too. She doesn't like the fact that she's so close with Daemon still. And, they have this relationship, but more and more it feels distant to her. And, Alicent basically said, you should keep an open mind and just kind of play both sides because Rhaenyra will do what she has to do in the moment to hold onto the crown, even if that's, not within your benefit. So, yeah, you should totally keep your options open. And she was kind of perceptive to that, and I think maybe the whole thing at the end of the episode where they're finding that secret passageway and going through, that might have been Mysaria's doing. Episode started with the look at the Rivermen, their force. It's very sizable, but Criston Cole and his men are using ambush tactics. They are being very annoying and, attacking in the dark at night and setting fire to footbridges that they need to cross. It's very difficult to, keep an army intact that size without, securing a bridge. And the Rivermen had basically had enough of it. They start using tactics that Criston Cole has been employing against them, and they're not enjoying that at all. You saw the crow's feet, the little, spikes that the horses step on, and then they're forced to, drudge through the swamp, and it's very slow and demoralizing, and yeah, more and more that force that Criston Cole commands, isn't enjoying the experience that they're going through right now. Like, war is tough, but they're really, really pushing it. They're trying to accost this force that's 20 times their size, and they're slowly losing men over time. It's really, really draining. And finally, Gwaine Hightower has that conversation with Cole at the end there saying, hey, we did our best, but they've burned the river crossing. Like, we can't enact our initial plan. We got to turn back now. And finally, it dawns on Gwaine that, Kristen Cole, this entire thing is so he can have, a glorious redeeming death in his eyes. And that's not Gwaine's goal at all. He's trying to fight a war as best he can. If the cause is lost, then, go home. But Kristen Cole can't do that. He doesn't have a home to go back to. Rhaenyra will kill him, and there's nothing you can do about it. Either it's victory or death. Just the realization for that character that that's where Kristen Cole's headspace is at, and him not being on board with that. You see that, the men desert, Gwaine leaves, and Kristen Cole is just going to march to his own doom, and he's going to take as many men with him as he can. We did get one character to pop back up. Jason Lannister, who we last saw in the Battle of the Gullet, where he got thrown overboard by the pirates, to lighten the load of the ship so they could make it through that pass. Thought there was a chance that he just drowned in the water, but got out of his armor and, managed to get ashore. And he reunites with Aegon and Larys there at the end, and they're kind of debating what they should do, what their best option is. I really like that conversation between Larys and Aegon, where Larys has basically just had it with all, Aegon's petty antics. He's complaining about, his entire life, and it's like, you've had every advantage, dude. Literally every advantage. You were the prince, you were the first son, gold, training, everything, and he still found a way to screw it all up because he's just an asshole. I love how he just comes outright and says that he was a horrible king because he's a horrible man. Really just telling that character what he is. Really needed to hear that, I think, and hopefully he meets his end soon, because that character just seems like he's at the end of his rope. He's the king, but, in name only, and the fact that he's so disgruntled by the fact that the current narrative is that he was killed by his own brother, who he despises, just really enjoyable for me personally. But yeah, another really good episode. Ton has happened. Ton in the works, and yeah, a lot of moves being made right now. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for now. So as always, thanks for watching, and peace.